So what is the secret to entering the subconscious mind? Questions. When you ask your mind a question, it will always give you an answer, no matter what the question is. It could be something simple, or it could be something complex. And it does answer, whether you realize it or not. Sometimes you just have to sit there and listen. Let it develop that answer and hear it. Remember, where attention goes, energy flows. So when you're asking a question, and if it's a negative type of question, like why are all these bad things happening? Why does this always happen to me? You end up getting an answer that is negative. And when you're focusing on all these negative things, you manifest more negative things. However, when you switch it around and you ask a question that is more positive, like for example, how can I be grateful today? How can I be grateful today? Well, ask yourself right now, how can I be grateful today? Your mind will start coming up with these ideas, with these answers. How can I be grateful today? I can look around, look at what I have, look at my job, look at my home, my car. Those are all things to be grateful for. My family, my friends. It's like when somebody tells you to think of a red car. You may have driven past 100 red cars, but you didn't even think about looking at the red car, or you didn't even notice it. But as soon as somebody tells you, count how many red cars there are on the road, you'll start seeing them. 1, 2, 3. Look around your room. What do you see that's black? I see quite a few, at least like 10, 20 things right in front of me. Look for whatever's red. You start seeing red, right? All these things were right there, but you probably didn't even realize it. You didn't notice them. You didn't pay attention to them. So when you start paying attention to certain things, you start to see it more. So how does this come into play with questions? When you ask yourself the right questions, you get a better answer. How can I achieve this goal? Rather than, why can't I achieve it? Right? And it can be good to ask yourself that type of negative question as well, because it'll come up. Like, for example, what don't I like about myself? You start listing off some things. Oh, I'm overweight, blah, blah, blah. I don't like my height. Okay. So what do you like about yourself? You list off some things for that. And then you take the things that you don't like. What can I change from this? Can't really change your height, but you can change your weight. You can't necessarily change your features, but you can fix up your beard or your hair, your eyebrows, and do certain things to look better. You could dress better, right? So you got to ask yourself questions. Questions that kind of pull this answer from deep inside. Something that I used to do is journal, and I would ask myself a question, or I would start off with a statement. How do I achieve this goal? And then I would write my answer. By doing this and this and this. And I would follow up with another question. Why do I want this? And I would answer. and you keep asking questions, basically diving deeper and deeper into whatever it is that you're writing about. And it's a great way to kind of self-reflect or to do some inner work, kind of understand why you think a certain way or why you do certain things. So it's actually very fun once you start to do it. I mean, there's some questions that are pretty difficult to answer. I can think of a few right now. And you have to kind of just sit there and repeat the question over and over and over in your head until you finally achieve an answer. And then you ask another question. And you got to think and think and think. And you do that over and over and over until you reach the root. Because everything that you think is wrong with you or with the world or whatever has a root. The symptoms of it might be you feel sad, you feel anxious. But why? Why do I feel anxious? What causes me this anxiety? For me, I mean, when I ask myself that, I think of when I was young. I would get abused, I would get hit, I would get yelled at. So I kind of grew up with this anxiety. How has this affected my life? It's made it hard for me to interact with people sometimes. I do have moments when talking to people is easy and it flows. However, I also have moments where I just can't get out of my head. Why can't I get out of my head? Because I'm trying to act a certain way. I'm trying to act in a way that's not me so that the other person can like me. Why do I want the other person to like me? Because I want everybody to like me. And I don't like the pain of thinking that somebody doesn't. Why do I want everybody to like me? Because it's painful to not be liked. And so I put up this almost like wall to shield myself from not being liked. Well, why is it so painful for me to not be liked? I guess I'm seeking outside approval, outside validation. Why is outside approval and validation so important to me? Because I didn't feel good enough when I was a child. Why didn't I feel good enough when I was a child? was there for me. And that was painful. The ones I love most kind of just left me on my own to fend for myself, and I was just a boy. And I didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't know what to do in that situation. I just wanted to escape. And now that I think about it, when you feel anxious, it's like you're trying to escape. You're trying to get out. And I felt that many times when I'm communicating with somebody, when I'm talking to somebody, I kind of pull away, trying to get away from them so I don't have to feel that pain. So I can see now that it stems from wanting to escape that pain and abuse from when I was a child, but being stuck. Wow. You see how that works? It helps as well if you write it down. Write it down. Ask questions. Understand yourself. Heal. Be better. Do better.